Didn't take long for the reigning Web.com Tour Player of the Year, Wesley Bryan, to make his splash on the PGA Tour. The South Carolina native becomes the first South Carolinian to win the RBC Heritage. A final round 67 does the job for him to get his first PGA Tour victory. The start of the day, Jason Dufner had the lead at 13 under par, so Wesley Bryan was 4 back. Here he is at 7.
Well, in the middle of a run of birdies, this would be his 4th in a row if it can get there, and it does.
Got him to 12 under par, and guys, the desk was thinking the Chasers, no chance. It was going to be one of the final 2 groups, but Wesley Bryan, he had other thoughts.
Oh, man, that one. Trying to play the little draw around the corner there and just catches it out the toe. Low snap hook into the trees, goes into that lake you see there.
He was lucky to make bogey.
Escaped with the bogey. OLLIE SCHNIEDERJANS was a big part of the story as well, par 4-9.
Absolutely flushing his irons. Didn't need driver a lot here, the speed that man creates. But his wedge game and his irons were on fire. First in proximity for the week.
So he was at 13 under, was a co-leader at that time. Graham Dillette, 7th for birdie.
And this was after a bogey at 6. Beautiful iron shot in here and a great putt to keep himself up there near the lead.
Graham, a co-leader at 13 under par as well. Par 4, 8th, and we saw this was a tough tee shot for Wesley Bryan. Here's Graham Dillette.
Well, this is where it all kind of started to go pear-shaped for Graham. Everything was feeling good, and you think, oh, he's just going to play a little butter cut out there to the right, which is where you want to be. You don't want to be to the left. That pond is pretty far left. That was not a very good golf shot. And then Graham, who continues, boy, that was really steep right there, Trevor. Continues to struggle with his short game and game inside of 50 yards, and that would lead to a triple bogey.
OLLIE SCHNIEDERJANS, his 3rd shot on 11.
Nice action there from OLLIE, trying to run it up uphill on the green here, so just leaving that one short.
And these are the type of putts you got to make if you're going to win on Sunday.
Interesting putting grip. They're barely grabbing the grip with his right hand. Just pushes it out to the right.
Greens played tough today. I mean, there were a lot of nasty little hole locations out there where the ball looked like it was going to break one way and it broke the other. But for this guy, George, when he's in the bunkers, you can pretty much count on it getting it up and down, as he was perfect from the bunkers, but this is extra perfect. Extra perfect.
How good is he out of the bunker?
Ridiculous.
So after that double on the second, Luke Donald trying to fight his way back. The birdie there got him to 10 under par.
I've heard he's illegal with the out of the bunkers in at least 7 countries.
At the hard par 3, 14th hole, he's on a little run here right now, and another beautiful iron shot. And at this point, we were wondering, is Luke going to come from way back to win his first Heritage?
When he made the double on number 2, I said, there's no way. There's no way. Count him out.
So he was at 12 under par. Wesley Bryan, his approach to 13.
And Wesley with some fantastic wedge play. You know, when the ball's stopping like that on those greens and they were firm, you know you've got good numbers.
He was at 12 under, another wedge in his hand on the next hole.
And this is the strength of Wesley's game. Beautiful wedge player. Tough pin here right in the front of the green. And the distance control and spin control is perfect, leaving himself a good look at another birdie.
So he was at 13 under after the birdie there, and a 1-shot cushion. SCHNIEDERJANS on 17.
Well, this is for par. He pulled a pitching wedge from 170 some odd yards. This hole was playing today with a pitching wedge. Crosswind too, so maybe that was a little out of his league. Maybe he should have gone with a 9-iron and swung it a little easier.
So he was 2 back. Luke Donald for birdie on the last to tie the lead.
And he needs this to tie the lead. It's a good-looking putt, perfect speed, just slips by the left edge.
So Luke Donald in the clubhouse at 12 under par. Wesley Bryan playing his 2nd to the last.
Well, not known for his ball striking and his shot making, known more for his short game and his work around the greens, but hit 2 of the biggest shots that he needed in his life, young tour life so far. On 17, hitting the green, and there on 18, hitting that green and leaving himself just a 2-putt.
Trevor, I can imagine the adrenaline pumping for Wesley Bryan right now.
Absolutely. Not the hardest putt in the world, but the biggest moment of his life in golfing terms. Cozies it up there, close enough for him to go ahead and tap that one in and get his first PGA Tour win.
Wesley Bryan, the South Carolina native, takes the RBC Heritage. A clutch par on the last as he holds on by 1 shot with the win. Bryan, of course, gets that 2-year exemption on the PGA Tour, an exemption in the Players, tournaments like the Memorial and PGA Championship, 500 FedEx Cup points. Won't have a long drive to Augusta. Here's Bryant with Steve Rakowski. Some of the notable highlights from the RBC Heritage. How about Matt Kuchar making his Sunday run up the leaderboard?
Shocker. Comes Matt going for that backdoor top 10. He would fall one position short, however, T11 on the day.
BRANDT SNEDEKER on the 18th.
Brandt doing what he does here, making putts as always. And he's starting to play some great golf. I'd look out for him up at the top of the leaderboards here soon.
Brandt's finished at 8 under par, as did Matt Kuchar, so by virtue of that, he was also T11. William McGirt is second to the 16th.
Willie hit it fantastic today and could not buy a putt. This one he did make, and he jokingly said, I heard him over the sound say, I'll be able to get that one to the hole, at least that one's downhill.
Hey, so he was at 11 under par, final round 69. Patrick Cantley, he's been on a run.
Man, finishes tied for third here this week, and he is playing some beautiful golf, the young man out of California.
He's had a few decent paydays his last few starts.
Yes.
Ian Poulter on 18.
Well, he needs to make birdie here to pretty much keep his card. He's barking at it. That green is so firm.
Ian Poulter playing on a medical, so he's trying to retain his PGA Tour card. So this was his second shot. Can understand Poltz grinding over this birdie try.
And unfortunately, right off the fringe, you saw it go left there. Never looked like it had a chance. And Poltz will have to have a nice week next week at Valero.
So Poulter would finish in a tie for 11th. Jason Duffner had the lead going into the final.